Hey, Rick.
Hey, Megan.
Here we are. It is the most beautiful Tuesday we've had in the
It's
entire
amazing.
month of November, the week before Thanksgiving.
I love it. It is totally amazing.
I know it's not too hot, not too cold. It feels just like
Just
fall.
right. Right. I love it.
So this week, we're going to talk about.
You're there. Now you're back.
Okay. We're going to talk about how buyers and lenders and the buyer's agent can all work together to be successful in just getting your offer accepted. We're not even talking about handing you the keys.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I say with sellers, most of my work is done before the house even goes on the market.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Like most of that part of the front end of the work, because preparation is key. The market it's not changing. For 2022 is predicted to be even more intense than 2021. That's what we're seeing right now, because there are all these different organizations that measure and track these things are looking at the numbers now and looking at how things historically go, and they're like, gosh, we still see that this is going to be a tough market for buyers.
Yeah, that's not going to change anytime soon. We know the numbers going forward on that. What was that report I saw today? There's something like in Orange County right now, about 1,700 and something homes on the market. And what's typical, around 6,000?
Right. It's ridiculous.
So there's inventory. The inventory shortage is not going to change overnight.
Right.
It will take years, I think, just like the supply chain we're dealing with everything else, right?
Right.
It will take time for that to kind of replenish. I think it's going to be years. I think it's years.
Yeah, I don't see, we understand if the interest rates go up, how that might affect pricing of homes, but it's not going to affect the amount of homes for sale.
Exactly.
So let's plan on this working together to get their offers accepted.
Right.
So I have 4 points here and a little story. I'll let you share the little story.
Okay.
So point number 1 is that a loan officer should know the borrower. They should know them. They should know what do they do for a living and how long they've been there. Are they salaried? Are they 1099? I mean, what else do you think like a lender should know?
Well, basically you have to know the numbers. I always know the numbers. So I know the debt to income ratios. I know the FICO scores. I know where we have, what the path going forward looks like to get that escrow closed. So it's not a guessing game at all. We know very clearly when that offer is presented, the exact path forward, how we're going to do that. And just as important, the timeline to get that done, right? These offers are all these offers, as we know, have very compressed timelines now.
Right.
And so people, I think, as you and I both experienced, that these offers that get accepted are the realtors and lenders who are the most prepared. And I think part of that preparation is knowing the numbers, knowing what they can expect. And so when we have a situation where our loan is really processed and ready to go, we want to be in a position where all we really need is escrow, prelim, and appraisal. We're going to closing.
Right.
That's simple.
Right.
So that's why we can compress those timelines.
So that was another point that I was going to bring up. Was 1 was to know the borrower. 2 was to have the pre-approval done. Have it done. And in order to have the pre-approval done, what does the loan officer need?
Well, pretty much their financials, W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements. That's the bulk of it right there. And then we on our side, what we do is we order the verification for employment from their employers. So in addition to the W-2s and pay stubs, we actually have the verification verifying their employment, all their income from the employer, dates of employment, and so on. So it's a very complete package at that point.
Because like we said, the offers are just, you have to be really competitive. And one of the aspects of being competitive is compressing the wiggle period for buyers to get out of the contract without any consequences, also known as contingencies. So we're getting crunched on contingencies here. the contract says 21 days, but in some cases you're being asked to do that by 14 days, which
pretty common.
could do if you had
Mhm.
everything preloaded there.
Right. Yeah. So last thing you want to do is once we get those compressed timelines, we don't want to say not going to get your W-2s and pay stubs, because at that point you're 2 or 3 days behind the curve. You're behind
No
the curve
kidding.
already. We don't want to be there. We want to be
Right.
ahead of that curve. Yeah.
Right. And the last part of how lenders and realtors and buyers can work together to get their offer accepted was to include the loan officer in the offer process.
Right.
So, I always include you on the process, and then I call you or text you and say, hey, I just wrote an offer. It's in your email. Please call this agent. And I send you their cell phone number usually, right? And so then you call the realtor and you say, hey, Megan just submitted an offer on Main Street, and let me tell you a little bit about these borrowers, and I'll tell you how we work together, and I'll be here if you have any questions.
That's exactly it. Tell them what they can expect going forward and how we work, and that we'll get the escrow close for them, and we'll close it on time. That's the key.
Right.
They're looking for an on-time close, not 3 days late. They want it on time.
Right, exactly. So I really feel like, because I'm heavier on the listing side than the buying side. Every realtor has, they do more in one way or the other.
Right.
But that's by design for me, because listings are really in my neighborhood. That's really what I have been going for 23 years. So as a listing agent, I get to see how people are presenting offers, what's coming in, and how they're presented, and all the tricks that are up everyone's sleeves. What's the latest trend and all of this kind of stuff. And I have to tell you that the lender communication has been, and probably always will be for the last 23 years, a real thorn in my side, because half the time I can't get a hold of these lenders. Their number is or is not on their letterhead, and it's not their cell phone number. It's the
They're
office
hiding somewhere.
number.
They're hiding behind the wall
somewhere.
Right. I hope you don't call them.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
And like you pointed out, I forwarded you an email this year from a listing agent who's been in the business. That team has been in the business longer than I've been in the business.
Yeah, they've been on a long time.
And we submitted a killer offer on a property. We didn't get it accepted because it was VA, and they just wanted to accept an offer that had hundreds of thousands of dollars down for a down payment, which honest to God, like it really doesn't matter how much money somebody has down, but that's okay.
Right. That's another
we're not
discussion.
getting into that right now. Yeah. But I forwarded you that email because I thought it was really well written. And what did she say on there? How many offers and how many loan officers?
I thought it was brilliant. And I actually saved it in my emails. There was 33 offers. And the cool thing about this agent, she identified every agent one by one.
Yeah, she did.
And that email, but she did. But the telling piece of that was 30. These numbers to me are just mind-boggling. 33 offers. We know what that's about. But of those 33 offers, she talked to a total of 3 lenders. 3 out of 33. Of course, we called her right away. We did it right up front. But of the 3 she talked to, one of those lenders did not know about the buyer, could not answer her questions. That's like, hello, right? And
that's such a faux pas. Like,
yeah, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, right?
Yeah.
I mean, except for the loan terms, we're not what the seller was looking for our offer, but we were able to reach out to that agent right away and make the case for that buyer.
We did everything we could, for sure.
Right. For sure.
Oh my gosh.
But it was a great email about what not to do.
Right.
If you want us to look at your offers.
Right.
Or what you should be doing. It was good stuff. But that's how we approach every one of our offers. And I will say, I guess to our benefit, we have a higher rate of success compared to other teams. Right.
Right. Right, because these agents know, like, we've been doing this a long time, and we're not here to make everybody's lives hell. We want everything to work out in everyone's benefit and have
Right.
everybody move on with their lives, you know?
I think from a seller's perspective, and of course, you know this as well as anyone, sellers are interested in who is more likely to close with the least amount of hassles,
Right,
right?
exactly.
And if
And
you're
the
not in
highest
there
net
engaging,
dollar.
in the head, of course, always, right? But you can
Mhm.
be a high net dollar, but if you're missing an action and they can't reach the lender or you're not returning their phone calls and someone else is, you don't win that
Ugh,
offer,
I
right?
know. I know.
Anyway,
Oh my gosh. Well, I
that's the
appreciate
fun
your
part.
time today. Yeah, let's help people be successful in 2022 and get
Mhm.
their offers accepted and be the best buyers and sellers that they can be.
Sure, I'm here to help.
All right. Thanks, Rick. I'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Megan. See ya.